This is Mission Control Houston, where experiment operations have been the top priority of the day on Friday for the crew members on board the International Space Station. Although the first thing on the agenda after breakfast for the Expedition 29 crew was a weekly conference with their Russian flight control team, a briefing on the work of the week just concluded and the plan for the week still to come. They'll in fact be wrapping up the day with a similar conference with their lead increment flight director here in Houston later on in the day on Friday. During the morning on Friday, Commander Mike Fossum spent his morning setting up the capillary flow experiment hardware in the maintenance work area, and then he oversaw more fluid test runs of that experiment. The capillary flow experiment is investigating, well, capillary flows and the flow of fluids that are inside containers which have complex geometries. The hope there is to develop improvements in fluid transfer systems that can be employed in future spacecraft. In the afternoon, Fossum spent time working at the plant habitation module in the commercial generic bioprocessing apparatus, removing 6 germination flasks and then planting 6 new ones. After the crew's lunch, Fossum and flight engineers Sergei Volkov and Satoshi Furukawa had a handover conference with their future crewmate, Dan Burbank, who is on the ground at the Johnson Space Center in Houston, finishing up some refresher training before he leaves for Star City to meet up with Anton Shkaplerov and Anatoly Ivanishin. The three of them will be making their final preparations then for their launch to the International Space Station, which is currently targeted for the middle of November. On orbit today, Sergei Volkov was involved in science as well. He spent part of his day watering plants in a Russian greenhouse facility and performed another experiment run in a crystallization experiment in the Poisk module, as well as conducting some regular Russian system maintenance. Satoshi Furukawa had a session with the Lego bricks experiment, some Lego kits that are being assembled on orbit by the crew members and used to demonstrate scientific concepts. Furukawa planned to spend most of his afternoon taking sound level measurements throughout the station to make sure that the sounds generated by station equipment are at a safe level for the crew members. All 3 members of the Expedition 29 crew have time off duty and private conferences with their families coming up this weekend before resuming their science operations and packing up a Progress supply ship and continuing their routine maintenance care of the International Space Station on Monday morning.